No one expected this moment. Not the cameras, not the crew, not even the family. Because what started as a normal filming day turned into the scene that changed everything. One look, one sentence, one truth finally spoken, and suddenly years of silence began to collapse. What happened next shocked everyone, and before this episode ends, nothing will ever feel the same again. Stay with me, because the moment you are about to hear was never supposed to happen. Everything changed the second Christine lifted her eyes and locked them onto Robin across the set, because something unspoken passed between them, something heavy, something final. And although no one had said a word yet, the room itself seemed to recognize that this moment would not end the way others had before. The cameras stood ready, the lights burned softly, but the air felt tight, as if it were holding its breath, waiting for the truth to arrive. And for years, viewers had watched these women speak carefully, choosing words, trimming emotions, protecting an image. But now, something was different, because Christine was no longer protecting anything, and when she took that slow step forward, it was not fueled by anger or revenge, but by exhaustion, the kind that comes from carrying silence for too long. And the producers behind the monitors stopped shifting in their chairs because instinct told them this was not routine. And as Christine finally spoke, her voice did not shake, it did not rise. It was calm, controlled, steady. And that calm made everyone uneasy, because emotion can be edited, but certainty cannot. And she spoke of the early days when she tried to welcome Robin with kindness, when she told herself that jealousy was something she simply needed to overcome, when she believed that love multiplied instead of divided. And as she spoke, memories unfolded, one by one, not dramatically, but honestly, and with each sentence the atmosphere tightened, because nothing sounded exaggerated, nothing sounded rehearsed, it sounded lived. And Robin shifted slightly, blinking faster than usual, her hands tightening together as if she were bracing for something she did not want to hear. But Christine did not pause. She spoke of nights spent alone, of waiting for attention that never came, of learning to smile in public while quietly disappearing in private. And the words landed heavier because there was no bitterness in them, only clarity, and clarity is difficult to argue with. And Robin attempted to interrupt, softly saying she never meant for anyone to feel hurt, but Christine lifted her hand gently, not aggressively, not emotionally, simply firmly, and said she was not speaking about feelings, she was speaking about patterns. And that sentence alone shifted the energy, because patterns cannot be denied away. And as the room absorbed that realization, even the crew avoided eye contact, because everyone could feel the shift happening. And Christine continued, describing moments that once felt small, but added together became overwhelming. Missed events, postponed conversations, children waiting and wondering, and through it all, the sense that one household always came first. And Robin's breathing grew shallow, her posture shrinking as though the space around her was closing in. And when Christine spoke about watching her own children feel forgotten, something flickered across Robin's face. Not anger, not defense, but panic. Because this was no longer about perception, it was about consequence. And the cameras captured everything. The silence between sentences, the stillness between breaths. And viewers would later say that the scariest part was not the confrontation, but how calm it remained. Because calm truth cuts deeper than rage. And when Christine finally said the words that would echo long after filming ended, that Robin never wanted the family, she wanted the man, and everything else became an obstacle, the room went still. Not dramatic, not explosive, just empty. And Robin shook her head quickly, whispering that it was not fair, that it was not true. But the denial felt fragile because it lacked grounding. And Christine did not respond immediately, she simply looked at her. And that look carried years of unspoken understanding and disappointment and realization. And when Robin finally stood and left the set, it was not anger that followed her, it was fear. Because once a narrative breaks, it cannot be repaired easily. And Christine remained standing, shoulders squared, eyes steady, not victorious, not relieved, just finished. And that was when everyone present understood something had ended and nothing would return to the way it was before. And as the door closed behind Robin, the silence returned, heavier than before, because truth, once spoken, does not echo loudly. It settles quietly into everything that follows. And that was only the beginning. When the door closed behind Robin, the sound itself felt louder than it should have, because it marked a separation that could not be edited out. And for several long seconds, no one on set moved. Not the crew, not the producers, not even Christine, who remained standing exactly where she was, as if her body needed time to catch up with what had just happened. And the air felt heavy, uncomfortable, not with conflict, but with finality, because everyone sensed they had just witnessed a turning point. And behind the monitors, producers exchanged quiet looks, calculating consequences, not ratings, not storylines, but responsibility. Because moments like this do not feel like television. They feel like real life intruding into a controlled space. And Christine finally exhaled, slowly, her shoulders lowering slightly, not in relief, but in release. The kind that comes when something long carried is finally set down. And she did not chase Robin. She did not explain herself. She did not soften what she had said, because she understood something important, that truth, once spoken, does not require defense. And while the crew whispered into headsets, debating whether to pause filming entirely, Christine took a seat at the edge of the set, folding her hands calmly, her expression distant, thoughtful, as if she were processing years at once. And behind the closed door, Robin's emotions spilled freely, not dramatically, but desperately, pacing back and forth, replaying every sentence, every look, every pause. And the most unsettling part was not the confrontation itself, but how accurate it felt, because accuracy is harder to fight than accusation. And as she pressed her hands to her chest, trying to slow her breathing, the realization crept in that Christine had not attacked her, she had described her experience. And that distinction made the weight heavier, because intention cannot erase impact. And outside the door, producers hesitated, unsure whether to knock, because emotion that raw cannot be rushed. And when Cody arrived, tension followed him immediately, his expression tight, his movements sharp, searching for control in a moment that offered none. And without asking questions, he moved straight toward the dressing room, because instinct drove him to protect, to defend, to restore the version of reality he understood. But Robin's voice from behind the door stopped him, asking for space, asking to be left alone, asking for quiet. And that refusal rattled him, because he had always been her shield, and now even that felt insufficient. And when he turned, his anger found direction, and his eyes locked onto Christine, burning with accusation. But she did not look away. And in that silent exchange, something shifted again, because she was no longer afraid. And fearlessness changes power structures instantly. And the crew felt it. The imbalance that had existed for years was no longer holding. And as conversations resumed quietly around the set, one truth became unavoidable. This could not be undone. And hours passed in discussion, contracts, mental health considerations, filming obligations. But beneath all logistics lay one reality: the story had changed. And Robin eventually agreed to return, only with boundaries, only with distance, only with protection. And when Christine was informed of these conditions, she did not protest. She did not demand explanation. She simply nodded and said she had already said what she needed to say. And that calm response unsettled everyone more than anger would have, because it confirmed that she was no longer emotionally tethered to how others reacted. And when filming finally resumed, the atmosphere was altered permanently. Robin returned guarded, avoiding eye contact, her posture closed, her words minimal, while Christine appeared lighter, quieter, more centered, as if honesty had untangled something deep within her. And the cameras captured that contrast clearly, one woman bracing for judgment, the other no longer carrying it. And as footage circulated privately among production teams, reactions poured in, disbelief, admiration, unease, because it was rare to see a reality moment feel unscripted in its purity. And when whispers reached the internet, speculation ignited, because audiences sense authenticity even before they see it. And when viewers began discussing what they believed had happened, support surged, not because of spectacle, but because of recognition. Countless people saw themselves in Christine, in the years of minimizing, in the effort to keep peace, in the moment of finally choosing self-respect. And Robin, meanwhile, felt the walls closing in, not from cruelty, but from exposure. Because once the audience questions a long-standing narrative, it cannot be easily restored, and her phone became something she avoided. Every notification felt heavy, every mention felt loud, and even Cody noticed the shift in her. Not fragile, not tearful, but withdrawn, hollow, uncertain, and his attempts to defend her only deepened the distance, because what she needed was not protection, but grounding, and that was something no one could give her. And as days passed, filming continued, but the dynamic remained strained. Every room carried the memory of that confrontation, every silence felt loaded. And Christine moved forward with quiet confidence, no longer explaining herself, no longer shrinking, and that transformation resonated deeply, because it was not loud empowerment, it was peaceful empowerment, the kind that arrives after acceptance. And as viewers waited for the episode to air, anticipation grew, not for drama, but for clarity, because people wanted to see the moment the illusion cracked, the moment years of subtle imbalance finally had language. And producers watched the footage repeatedly, recognizing its impact, knowing it would reshape perception and redefine the season. And as discussions continued behind closed doors, one question lingered heavier than all others. Not what would viewers think, but what would happen after? Because moments like this do not end when filming stops. They echo forward into every relationship, every decision, every quiet night. And the truth, once released, does not disappear. It waits patiently, shaping what comes next. And the story was far from over. As the days moved forward after the confrontation, nothing felt normal anymore, because even when no one mentioned it, the moment lived quietly in every space, and every interaction carried an unspoken awareness that something fundamental had shifted. And Christine noticed it first, not through words, but through absence. The absence of tension she had carried for years, the absence of the need to explain herself, the absence of waiting for permission to feel at peace. And that absence felt unfamiliar at first, almost unsettling, because she had grown accustomed to emotional weight, and without it, life felt strangely open. And when she returned home that night, she moved differently, laughed more easily, breathed more freely. And those small changes spoke louder than any argument ever could. While Robin experienced the opposite, the confrontation replayed endlessly in her thoughts, not as anger, but as questions she had never allowed herself to ask before. And the hardest part was not public opinion, not potential backlash, but the quiet moments alone when the words echoed without interruption. And she began to realize that avoiding truth does not make it disappear, it only delays its arrival. And when it finally arrives, it does not knock gently, it demands attention. And Cody tried to restore normalcy, insisting that everything would be fine, that the audience would never understand, that Robin was misunderstood. But reassurance cannot erase uncertainty, and she found herself pulling inward, uncertain of her own footing. And as filming resumed, she chose her words carefully, measuring each sentence, avoiding vulnerability, because vulnerability now felt dangerous. And viewers would later sense that distance, noticing the shift in energy, not knowing yet why, but feeling it nonetheless. And Christine, on the other hand, stopped measuring, stopped filtering, stopped anticipating reaction. And that freedom showed on camera, because authenticity creates ease, and ease is contagious. And fans would later say they could see it before they understood it. The glow that comes from alignment, the calm that follows honesty. And as producers reviewed footage, they recognized something rare unfolding, not a manufactured arc, but a genuine evolution. And that realization brought its own weight, because real transformation cannot be directed, it must be witnessed. And as news of the confrontation quietly circulated among staff and insiders, anticipation swelled, because everyone knew once this aired, conversations would explode, not because of spectacle, but because it confirmed what many had long suspected. And when the network began preparing the episode, they approached it carefully, understanding the responsibility of presenting such a pivotal moment with integrity, balancing storytelling with respect. And the decision weighed heavily, because this was not about sensationalism, it was about truth. And when early previews were assembled, reactions were immediate, emotional, intense, because the footage carried a rawness that could not be softened. And discussions unfolded about what to include, what to protect, what to allow the audience to see. And ultimately, they understood that withholding too much would diminish the moment, and releasing it responsibly would honor its significance. And as the air date approached, tension built, not just among viewers, but within the cast. And when the cameras finally stopped rolling, one truth remained clearer than ever. Silence protects nothing. Honesty changes everything. And once the truth was spoken, there was no going back, only forward. Because some moments do not end a story, they begin a new one. And this was the moment that changed everything.